You may have met our next presenter at the publication board table this week. Linda Frost is founding dean of the Honors College at the University of Tennessee, Chattanooga. Prior to that, she was director of the honors program at Eastern Kentucky University and associate director of the University Honors Program at the University of Alabama, Birmingham. Please give a warm round of applause to Linda Frost.
Oh man, that was so fast. Hi, I'm Linda Frost, and where's my clicker? Let's hope I don't screw this up too badly, right? Thank you for being here. It's a packed day, and I appreciate it massively. Just wanted to say also a special shout out to Anthony, who let me hover over his shoulder until he got my presentation up the way that I needed to be. So, title of my talk is Beyond Gen Ed, an honors curriculum for tomorrow, or maybe even just today. Nothing says party like curriculum revision. Am I right? You know that I'm right. And if that's true, I've been partying nonstop since I started working at the Eastern Kentucky University. And as soon as I moved to the University of Tennessee at Chattanooga, I had to hang up my disco ball and get going again and do not just 2 or 3, but I think 4 curriculum revisions is what we've done. Do I see 5? Okay, there we go. Many curriculum revisions. And I'm thinking that maybe if I play my cards right, I may get 1 or 2 more in before I retire. Yes, party. You're probably wondering what my obsession is with revising honors curricula. Can I find other ways to annoy and bother honors staff, recruiters, advisors, and of course, students past, present, and future? But in fact, it's not my ennui that keeps me changing curriculum. And actually, each of these changes are related to one kind of legislative act or another, whether that's a cap on credit hours for a degree from your state, or the reduction or standardization of general education requirements, such as we had in Alabama. State and federal mandates on what courses their students' financial aid can pay for. And of course, a thankfully failed bill in the Tennessee House that specifically wanted to reduce hours of humanities courses that could be required in any general education curriculum in our state, in our fine state. Of course, I think that all of these moves are driven by legislators who want to trim what they see as the fat in higher ed, right? There's unnecessary courses like writing courses after graduation from high school, or, why is this not going? There it is. Political science courses, natural science courses, theater courses, psychology courses, history courses, music or art courses, literature, philosophy, sociology, all those pesky courses that do not lead you directly into a professional degree. So and thank you for nodding, for a liberal arts inclined girl like me, this has become what I would say is really kind of a nightmare. I feel like I'm being chased by zombies who are elected by my federally and state elected zombies who are trying to eat my students' brains. These budget-cutting zombies are, in fact, creating what I think is a crisis in honors education, and whether it's a crisis of our existence or how we identify is really what we've got to figure out. And so in order to do that, I think we need to go back and look at the things that are truly basic and intrinsic to our honors programs and colleges. What, in the end, are we actually offering students? So I go back to my mission statement. I know you do this all the time yourselves, right? Our mission statement at the University of Tennessee Chattanooga's Honors College is to provide a diverse, inclusive community of inquiry, opportunity, and support dedicated to the development of scholarly excellence and social consciousness. Now, if you're feeling a little queasy by my word count here, all you strategic planners out there, I'm just going to say that you can relax, because I basically only refer to about 11 words of this statement: to provide a diverse, inclusive community of inquiry, opportunity, and support. I can honestly say that these words and these ideas ground me, whether I'm recruiting or whatever it is that we're doing in the honors college, whether we're running an honors seminar or doing something in our residential community, if we're looking at our application process or just having a back-to-school cookout. Those really are the things that we care about. So let's break them down. Inquiry. I think of all of our classes as falling under this category, but in the words of my fabulous Associate Dean Greg O'Day, we really are invested in teaching our students how to ask really good questions. Getting back to basics here. And whether it's a really fabulous summer internship program or a nationally competitive scholarship or maybe just somebody that we think they should know, we are always on the lookout for great opportunities for our students. And although I always like to say that honors is first and foremost a curriculum, if I asked all of you, and I'm going to ask all of you, what's the one word you would say, the thing that is most important about honors, what would you say? Community. I heard community. Thank you very much. And in fact, it is the support of that kind of community that we all need, a community that practices really active curiosity about its members. So, our students are asking lots of questions, and they're asking questions that are not just in our classrooms, but all over the place, right? So our students are asking questions like how they can host an event that will celebrate Black culture, but also allow white people to ask all those awkward questions that we always want to ask. They want to know how they can not just survive, but thrive in our 12-hour-long Honors Humanities class. They want to know what the mating call of a giant tortoise in the Galapagos Islands sounds like, and my friends, there is a clear sound. They want to know how to put together a great CV or resume, something that's compelling and catchy. And they also want to know how it came to be that in 1906 in Chattanooga, an innocent man, Ed Johnson, was lynched on our iconic Walnut Street Bridge. Our students are asking these questions all over the place. And while a lot of them are happening in our classes and courses, they're happening all over the place. I think of them as kind of these, comic book word bubbles that are popping up in our building all over the place. I'll say it again. In offices, in hallways, in the bathrooms, spilling out of our building onto the rest of the campus and to our city. And I know they're asking questions here in Orlando whenever we travel with them. And every one of those questions, in my mind, is a very well-placed thunk on the head of another honors-hungry zombie. So let's talk about curriculum for one more second. To do this, I'm going to look at my vision statement and see where we've placed curriculum and what it means. So our vision statement is longer than our mission statement, so please don't have a little issue. We will be a center for innovation, providing enriching experiences for the campus overall, a conduit for research, and an intellectual community that develops creative, transformative student, staff, and faculty leaders through a community-embedded and globally informed curriculum. And curriculum is at the end of this statement. It's very important at the end. You might think, if you weren't in honors, that all of these things that come before it are actually happening in classes. But you know that's not true. We all know that's not true. Curriculum is happening all over the place, or these kind of activities. So I think it's time for us to think a little differently, not just about what we put in our curriculum, and actually a lot of people are doing this, but not just what we're putting, the content of our curriculum, but in fact how we're delivering it, how we're providing it, right? And I think if we can figure out how to do that, we may be able to stave off another zombie apocalypse in honors. Our students, if we do our instruction right, our students will continue to ask the kind of questions that we need them to ask, not just for them to get where they want to go when they graduate from college, but also that our society needs them to ask, like, why won't people get vaccinated? Why is our weather so extreme, and what can we do about it? What is a good immigration policy? And how can we do things better and differently? And of course, the big question, what is my privilege? And we need to ask this all the time because our privilege blinds us to things that are happening with people and to people that we need to deal with and we need to correct. We need to improve. Our privilege in honors, I think hopefully you would agree with me, is pretty great, right? We work with really academically talented students who are highly motivated, and we get to know them not only the course of the 2 or 4 years that we have them on our campuses, but we often get to know these people for decades, right? These are part of our lifelong friends. We also work with relative autonomy compared to other units on our campuses, and given our size, we can do things a little bit more quickly and more responsively than other units can. And of course, even though it might change, we will continue to have classes, and as teachers in honors, we can ask pretty much whatever question we want to ask in those classes that we teach. So what am I going to do? How am I going to use my privilege? How will we all use our privilege in honors? And I think for me, what's important is to continue to make honors as available and as possible to be a part of for as many students as we possibly can. Not just the students who want to be in honors, but the students we know who need to be in honors. So let's think about curriculum. Well, how are we going to do that? Well, we might take those idea bubbles, and we might, instead of regular classes or courses, we might offer credit-bearing experiences. And if in our case, we might offer those at 0 credit, particularly for our engineering students. We could offer micro-badges and micro-credentials, and there's actually at least one session on this at this conference here. We might do co-curricular transcripts. And whatever we do, however we offer our curriculum moving forward, well, we should try to capture it in some way, right? Maybe in a website or an electronic portfolio, something that creates a narrative that we can then sit down with our students and look at to see how they've progressed, how they've developed, and how they've changed. So in Hamilton County, Tennessee, where we live and where UTC is, there's a brand new initiative on the part of our Department of Education. And this is an initiative that over the course of the next 10 years, every high school graduate, the goal is for every high school graduate to graduate from high school with at least 1 semester of college credit completed, if not 2 or 3 or 4 semesters, all of which will be completed before they've darkened the door of any college or university. I am tired of outrunning the zombies, okay? I have 2 knees that I just replaced. I can't keep doing it anymore. It's time to outsmart them. And how hard can that be? After all, they're dead, right? I mean, we should be able to stand to the side of the canyon and let them fall over the edge while we go on to do the things that we are good at, that we need to be doing, which is namely, helping our students learn to ask the best, most penetrating, most living questions they can. And if we continue to do that, if we continue to find ways to do that, I have no doubt that that is going to be the honors curriculum of tomorrow. Thank you.